Our high school years began at somber times after a summer in which the class of 2010 lost a life, a classmate, and a dear friend. Through the grief and despair, we were united, and the tragedy taught us to live each day to the fullest.
We've all surely struggled to do what we've done. This year, the state superintendent decided against allowing any half days or early dismissal. And you thought senioritis was bad before. We also had our senior year homecoming festivities ambushed. And after the changes that were made to the Core 40 requirements, our freshman year, we have had to meet a higher standard than the classes before us in order to earn our diplomas. However, we can't complain too much. At least we all survived the 2009 swine flu epidemic.
On the other hand, our good memories have been the best. Our middle school teachers loved our principles of friendship. We were friends with anyone, a big mixing bowl, no judgment passed. In very few clips, freshman year was full of good fortune. School was dismissed early on 2 random occasions. School was dismissed early when a pipe burst in the upstairs freshman hallway, sending the school into lockdown status. And on another occasion, one unlucky bird flew into the transformer, causing a power outage and full evacuation. And as sophomores, we proudly claimed first place in the homecoming decorating competition.
And our lives all changed our junior year, the year of the vampire, with the introduction of the 2009-2010 heartthrobs, Robert Pattinson and Taylor Lautner. And in a side note, smartboards also made a debut at AHS. Of course, the last 4 years have shown us new friends, new enemies, new challenges, and new obstacles to face, which have shaped our high school years into the fun, crazy, and amazing experience that it has been. And nonetheless, here we are in our purple gowns, showing everyone that we made it.
This afternoon, we would like to welcome our friends, families, teachers, administrators, and Board of Educators to the commencement of the independent, intelligent, and ambitious class of 2010.
In the words of another brilliant man, the late Dr. Seuss, think left and think right, think low and think high. Oh, the things you can think of if only you try.
Thank you, Mrs. Sarah Farber-Staub, and the members of the Angola High School Choir. Would you give them another round of applause, please? I too add my welcome to the welcome given by members of the class of 2010. There are so many familiar faces here today as we assemble to honor this great class. Parents, families, friends, we join in this celebration today here at Angola High School. It has been our practice to make several brief recognitions, and I will attempt to do so, and these are important. First of all of the members of the Angola High School faculty and staff, many of them joining us today in this celebration. All the members of the AHS faculty for their daily efforts working with all the members of our students' body. Would you give them a big round of applause, please? All the members of the MSD Steuben County Board of School Trustees who have joined us here on stage, along with several members of the central office, Cindy Nussbaum, our Curriculum and Instruction Director, Dr. David Goodwin, and Dr. Brent Wilson. Would you give them a round of applause? And I never forget the many hours and years of efforts provided by all of the MSD of Steuben County teachers and staff as they work daily with students to prepare them to get ready for the high school experience. I would also like to recognize them at this time. Finally, working a number of hours behind the scenes in order to bring this celebration together in such a special way each year, I must recognize all the AHS staff, the guidance counselors, the secretaries, Mr. Howard McKeever, and the members of the custodial staff for all of their efforts to have a first-class presentation today. Would you join me in that recognition? Traditionally, we take a moment to recognize those who may be retiring and leaving our school system. And this year is no different. We have several who have made that decision. We certainly appreciate all their efforts for so many years. But as a segue to that, I notice that there are some who retired in previous years who have come to join us today, and I think it totally appropriate that we recognize their attendance here today and their service in years past with a different generation of students. And I need to point out that Mrs. Olive McKeever and her husband Howard have joined us today as they have a grandson graduating. Would you recognize them, please? And we may have others in the audience. I do notice Mr. Tom Saylor over here, and I didn't want to slight him. He never left us and went to Arkansas like Mrs. McKeever, but we appreciate the service of everyone who has ever been involved in the MSD family. Thank you all so very much. Very quickly, those retiring this year. First of all, custodian at Henry Park Elementary, Mr. Ned Lash. Would you recognize him for his service? Ms. Jenny Sparks, a teacher at the Angola Middle School. Would you recognize her? Mrs. Susan Myers, Pleasant Lake Elementary School teacher. And a very special member of the Angola High School faculty, retiring this year after many, many years of service, most of them in the MSD school community. Our English teacher, Ms. Christine Counterman. Please recognize Ms. Counterman. On stage with me today, some other retirements. First of all, longtime teacher, principal, and for the past 20 years, a school board member, Mr. Art Ryan. Would you please stand and be recognized? "60 years an educator." That deserves another round of applause. And another gentleman very important to the MSD Steuben County Schools in so many ways. A graduate of Angola High School, a teacher in the school system for at least 10 years, if I remember correctly. 9 years, 10 years spent out of our district, one of those years for the State Board of Education, and for the last 20 years, a central office administrator, first as assistant principal, and then as principal, 40 years of service, Dr. David Goodwin. We have some other recognitions, if you will bear with me, and these pertain to the class of 2010. First of all, and this is a very important recognition in the eyes of all of our faculty, and I know you as parents as well, perfect attendance. I would like you to stand, remain standing till all have been named, and then we will recognize you. With 4 years of perfect attendance, Mr. Andrew Smith. With 8 years of perfect attendance, Miss Carly Sanborn. It is a privilege at this time to recognize members of the class of 2010 who have enlisted in military service at this point. We know others may choose to serve at a later date, but these people have made that commitment. As we do this, we always make a point of doing this in a way in which we honor as well all those who have previously served. That's especially important on this very date, as this is the 66th anniversary of D-Day in 1994 in World War II. But we recognize all those who have served both home and abroad, both in Homeland Security as policemen and firemen, and in the military branches of the service. Let me name those who have made that commitment. Please stand, remain standing, hold your applause till we've completed the recognition. First of all, to the United States Navy, Jeremy Carter and Justin Carter. To the United States Marines, Renato Garcia and Bruce Powers. And to the United States Army, Andrew Smith and Adam Scully. Would you join me in this recognition? Thank you very much. You may be seated. At this time, it is a privilege to introduce to you the members of the top 10% of the class of 2010 in alphabetical order. And I would ask you again to stand and remain standing as your name is called. Please hold your recognition until we've completed. Amira Ali, Christy Baldwin, Paige Beckwith, Amber Boland, Tyler Carey, Natalie Caruso, Amber Clark, Kaya Griffith, Zach Maggio, Kayla Mittman, Samantha Parrish, Josh Quant, Sarah Ruff, Catherine Schlim, Kay Schollenberger, Amanda Webb, Kyle Yakel, and Seth Zarati. Would you join me in recognition?
Life's journey is a difficult one if you have no one to rely on, to trust, or to know will always be there to help you. Everyone needs a wolf pack. Although we all started as lone wolves our freshman year, these last 4 years have given us the chance to build friendships that will last a lifetime. Today we celebrate the end of those 4 years and stand together as a wolf pack of 197. The bonds that we formed will help us through life's tribulations. When we look back on the time we spent here, we will remember the times we spent with friends, whether it was just hanging out, playing sports, participating in clubs, or partnering to delete the Elite Four, or conducting scientific experiments to analyze the nature of our fellow high schoolers. These are the memories everyone will look back on. These people know what to do, what to say, and how to make us feel better. However, making new friends involves a risk. After high school, we all will be surrounded by people that we really know nothing about. High school presented us with countless opportunities to meet new people. Almost every aspect of these last few years was in some way geared towards encouraging the development of relationships with fellow students. Groups such as Swarm, extracurricular activities, and even the change to new classes every term helped us make new acquaintances. In the future, meeting new people will be slightly more difficult because we will have to put forth most of the effort. My suggestion for all of you is to get involved as much as possible. It doesn't have to be anything huge, but getting involved presents an opportunity to meet people and network yourself with someone who could potentially impact your future. The impact that camaraderie and teamwork has on a bond is incredible. It feels almost, but not quite, as joyful as observing a young narwhal swimming in the deep depths of the Arctic. One example showing the effect that working together towards a common goal can have on a relationship is between my friend Brady Tribble and I. Although we had always been friends, our bromance truly blossomed when he joined the tennis team during my junior year. Now we are walking partners today, and in the fall, we'll be roommates at Indiana University. To me personally, my friends have meant a great deal. They've been there for me as long as I can remember. The world's a scary place, and it's strange to contemplate where you will be in 2, 5, or even 10 years. Having people there to guide you can make a world of difference. There are times when a serenading love melody from Justin Bieber just won't do. You'll need someone to turn to. You may need a shoulder to cry on, a hand to hold, or a faint laugh in the wind. True friendship is hard to find. Like a rare gem in the deepest jungles of the South American landscape, it's elusive. Luckily for me, I found 7 gems that I would like to thank for showing me the capacity of a heart. Brady, David, Kipler, Luke, Mitch, Mike, and Kent, you are my boys, and I want to thank you for all you've done for me. I know that if I want to succeed in life and live the way I envision, you guys will be there to support and encourage me. Consider some of the famous people of our era. Do you think Justin Timberlake needed motivation at some point? Absolutely. Lance Bass and Joey Fatone would laugh at that statement. Do you think Enrique Iglesias really could be the hero all by himself? Probably, but that's not fair to say. The Pride of Spain has an enchanting voice that allows his music to tenderly touch any individual. My point is that in order to get where you would like to be in life, you need a close group to help you get there. Graduation is an interesting time. U.S. Senator Orrin Hatch memorably quoted, "There is a good reason they call these ceremonies commencement exercises. Graduation is not the end, rather it's the beginning." In a way, graduating high school is just a larger version of entering middle school. Remember in 5th grade, when we were all nervous because there'd be so many new kids from other schools? How many of those people ended up being your closest friends? After leaving AHS, you will still know your old friends, but you will be surrounded by countless individuals who could end up being your closest friend. Whatever path you choose, whether it's college, the service, the workforce, or traveling to Johto to strengthen your team, the bonds we make in high school will always be there. An important aspect to growing up is branching out and taking chances. So use these next few years. Try to deviate from the norm. Remember that no matter where you choose to go or what you choose to do, your friends can help you get there. True friendship's a powerful tool. In the words of the great Rick Astley, they will never give you up, never let you down, never run around and desert you. They're never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, or never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. So, as we all prepare to go off in our own ways and meet new people, let's remember the ones who made it possible for us to get there.
Will Smith once stated in the movie Hitch, "Life is not the amount of breaths you take, it's the moments that take your breath away." Class of 2010, today will never be forgotten. Savor this time and let these moments take your breath away as we receive our diplomas, visit with family, and spend precious time with our closest friends. Remember the past, work hard for a bright future, and most importantly, seize the present. It's funny to remember the days of elementary school. In the beginning, some of us focused on singing the alphabet and writing our names. Others, however, focused on burping the alphabet and eating Elmer's glue. You all know who you are. And even though some of us still find burping the alphabet to be quite hilarious, we have all grown and matured to the young adults we are today. It's also funny to remember the days of middle school. Our first locker, no more cubby holes. Our first class schedule without a recess. Our first romantic dance with a boy or girl we had a crush on. Oh, and the panic of our first dreadful zit. The first of many. Somehow, in this crazy midst of middle school, we began to understand certain aspects of the world that we hadn't known before. We began to find our true friends. We began to find ourselves. And then we got into high school. Class, until we leave each other, continue to share your fondest memories. Whether you and your friends coordinated outfits for an unforgettable homecoming dress-up day, or you danced all night with your high school sweetheart at prom, savor the best moments. It's important to remember the past. It determines who we are today. But do not ignore it. Since elementary school, we have all been taught that we make mistakes. Do not dwell on them, but do not ignore them either. Since we will be making mistakes for the rest of our lives, view mistakes as learning experiences. A mistake isn't a failure until you refuse to learn from it. For me, it was easy to remember the past, but as I thought about the upcoming future, I wasn't quite sure what to say or what advice to give. Then, one day in language class, I was inspired. The assignment was to read out loud our favorite published poem. David Lloyd proudly strolled to the front of the classroom with his poem of extreme literary merit. He read Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them. Sam, I am. At first, I giggled with the rest of the class as David read the entire book. But then I realized something. Dr. Seuss did not just write a rhyming book for children. He provided a life lesson. Many of us today are scared. Whether we are going to college, getting a job, entering the armed forces, or are undecided, we are scared, and that's okay. Some of us are more scared than others, and that's okay too. But as we venture off into the world, push yourself to be brave and set goals for yourself. In Dr. Seuss's book, the stubborn creature who claimed he would not like green eggs and ham ended up loving them. The moral of the story is this: don't be stubborn. Go out into the world and try new things, because when it comes down to it, the end result will be exhilarating and worthwhile. In my 4 years of high school, perhaps the best advice I ever received came from my band director, Mr. Fogel. He emphasized this: leave no doubt. In marching band, my directors taught us that trophies and rankings didn't matter. What mattered was improvement. Did we improve our show from last season? So as you go out into the world, worry about your own performance and your own skills. Work hard and give life everything you have to ensure that you leave no doubt. Even if you don't earn first place, at least you won't ask the excruciating question, what if? Class, as we sit here today, feel proud of your perseverance and your accomplishments. We worked hard to wear these funny-looking hats and gowns. For the most of us, our families put together graduation parties that seem more like shrines of ourselves than anything. But even in all the recognition, make sure you thank those who helped you on the way. Academically, none of us learned everything on our own. So even if we spent the last 9 weeks talking bad about teachers who gave us too much homework, make sure you express your gratitude for them. They really did help us. Class, also thank your friends. They held our hands through the rough patches of high school. My group of friends is amazing, and I love each and every one of you. I made one of my closest friends in the 7th grade, and I'm so proud she's my walking partner today. Sam Parrish, I love you like a sister. Class, also make sure you thank your family. Resolve any fights and problems you and your family encountered. Remember that the ones you love will not always be with you, so appreciate the time you have with them now. Dad, you're like a big kid and one of my closest friends. You fell asleep at my sister's graduation, so I hope you're awake right now to hear that I love you. Mom, life hasn't been easy for you, but even in the worst of times, you put your family first. You have supported me in all my activities and have continued to show your appreciation for me. So I'm sorry if I didn't show my full appreciation for you. You cried when you took me to kindergarten, and you're probably going to cry today. So thank you for everything. I haven't said this to you since I was probably 7, but I love you to pieces, nieces, forever and ever. And with that, I'd like to congratulate each and every member of this class. Can you believe we are finally here? For months now, we have been tormented with what Mr. Kirkton calls the senior mind. We have suffered through some serious side effects of senioritis, including extreme procrastination, a severe lack of sleep, and what teachers and parents refer to as mere laziness. Fortunately, the senior mind ends today as we step into the next chapter of our lives. Mother Teresa once said, "We are all pencils in the hand of God." Class of 2010, go out into this world with energy and passion and write your story.
I remind everyone that that was the last opportunity for the members of the class of 2010 who have worked so many years and provided so many hours of effort in representing Angola High School. This is their last opportunity to participate in the very special Angola High School band program. Again, would you recognize their efforts and their performance? At this time, we arrive at the portion of our agenda for the all-important recognition that the members of the class of 2010, having met all the requirements of the state of Indiana and of the MSD Steuben County Board of School Trustees, are now going to be presented to the members of the school board represented by Mr. Glenn Lee Army. Members of the school board, they have met all requirements. Would the first row please stand to be recognized? Would you please hold your applause and your cheering to the conclusion of this part of our program, because it is so important that everybody have an opportunity for their name to be heard. Thank you very much. Amanda Shea Webb. Paige McMaster Beckwith. Joshua Richard Quant. Brady Aaron Tribble. Christy Marie Baldwin. Amara Hadam Ali. Nicole Lynn Boffman. Sarah Marie Ruff. Kay Marie Schollenberger. Kyle C. Moon. Zachary Michael Maggio. Kyle Robert White. Seth Nicholas Zarati. Wilson Lee Thornton. Kyle Joseph Yakel. Jennifer Nicole Wilson. Kayla Sue Mittman. Amber Marie Clark. Anthony R. Schumann. Amber Mae Boland. Courtney Lynn Henze. Ashley Nicole Benke. Jennifer Nicole Myers. Emily Lynn Fincher. Christina E. Gaona. Matthew Todd Dempsey. Justin P. Gick. Nicole Elizabeth Richmond. Jonathan William Cass. Brittany Nicole Nelson. Mackenzie Renee Boyer. Pleasant Sarah Huck. Mackenzie Violet Bird. David Allen Lloyd. Mitchell Thomas Hall. Jarrett Devlin. Sabra Nicole Byerly. Megan L. Light. Brooke Ann Martin. Amy Lynn Jones. Zachary Ray McKeever. Ethan Cole Reese. Tyler Joseph Carey. Joshua Michael Auer. Reese Derek Ruchke. Melissa Jo Shaw. Kayla Danielle Peel. Gregory Scott Seiler. Adam Scully. Maggie M. Newberry. Jessica Nicole Fuller. Alicia Jean Terrell. Hope K. Lynn Golla. Dylan Jackson Blue Reed. Andrew A. Smith. Kenton Patrick Wagner. Justin James Elston. Benjamin Andrew Helmsing. Christopher Lee Wright. Nicole Christina Weldon. Kirsten E. Shirley. Frank Ernest Antoine. Travis William Simmons. Tiffany Sue Jack. Tori Renee Bailey. Lucas Allen Dunn. Thomas Michael Armstrong. Daryl John Lelly. Corey Anthony Dakota Burke. Logan T. Bright. Jason David Fager. Brittany Michelle Horsley. Jacqueline Ann Heiler. James Alec Callahan. Christopher Aaron Stiverson. Brooke Marie Snyder. Ashley Nicole Gordon. Carrie Melissa Hayes. Elise Elizabeth Feeman. Carly June Sanborn. Shannon Elizabeth Figley. Hunter James Guthrie. Carrie L. Daly Manahan. Julia Croner. Chelsea Aaron Howell. Brittany Nicole Dalton. Cole Cheston Curtis. Abby Annette Case, Austin Marie Van, Ann Christian Melcher, Erica Lynn Penland, Landon Robert Ash, Kevin James Conrad, Elizabeth Suzanne Angus, Olivia Paige Ralston, Logan C. Martin, Christopher Lynn Rose, Scott Moberg, Nicholas Jeffrey Burlingame, Tiffany M. Parsons, Kyra Ray Rowland, Kyle Martin Gardner, Ryan Scott Hamilton, James F. Chapman V, Gavin Drake Bush, Emily Ray Smith, Justin Allen Carter, Austin M. Jackson, Justin S. Bokel, Jesse E. Ross, Jeremy Jeffrey Snyder, Jessica Lynn King, John Michael Merritt, Curtis Richard Kent, Derek Thomas Brimmer, Kylie Mae Julian, Sean Daniel Geiger, that's Alexandria Griffith, Jacob Lee Philip Parker, Veronica K. Racy, Zachary James Terrell, Stephanie Hannah-Laura Butts, Brendan Andrew Tawaferi, Tabitha Marie Malott, Shelby Lynn Squires, Max Martin Wade, Matthew William Julian, Megan Nicole Lechner, Kendra Renee Saylor, Catherine M. Haynes Holman, Sarah Almabush, Caitlin Elaine Ross, Melinda Sue Lawton, Chaldean Scott Rogers, Michael M. Moat, Alexander Scott Siegel. Renato Garcia Gamis. Nicole M. Hance. Amber Marie Worthington. Olivia Nicole Snook. Elizabeth M. Stroh. Brandon William Hanshoe. Michael Scott Kenworthy. Nicholas Dalton Myers. Devin Clay Ferris. Daniel Anthony Esquivel. Taylor Joseph Christopher. Kristen Jordan Wall. Alicia Marie Miller. Whitney Jean Vanette. Emily Jo Lepley. Taylor Dean Derwin. Courtney Renee Morrow. Jorge A. Castro. Justin T. McLean. Josh Ryan O'Grady. Aaron Edward Berlew. Timothy Thomas Mills. Jordan Robert Smith. Cheyenne Kearns. Courtney Lynn Grace. Mark Allen Powell Jr. Santana Trey Salinas. Natasha Marie Reynolds. Rachel Anna Quick. Jeremy Carter. Bruce Justin Powers. James Cody Spears. Logan Michael Hicks. Jesse R. Smith. Justin Lewis Miller. Luciano Kennedy De Leon. Hope Elizabeth Turner. Nicholas Ryan Powell. Matthew Edward Godsey. Kaya Griffith. Catherine Lee Schlim. Samantha Diane Parrish. Danielle Marie Carpenter. Natalie Marie Caruso. Members of the audience, would you join me in recognizing the new graduates of Angola High School in the class of 2010? And now if I could ask the class of 2010 to assure their appreciation for their parents and their family's support, for their teachers' assistance throughout the years. Would you all stand, class of 2010, and make that recognition? Thank you very much. You may be seated briefly. I will say to the audience that the members of the class of 2010, as has been the case in recent classes, have faced ever more rigorous requirements, have scheduled ever more rigorous schedules, and I'm very impressed with their application and their work efforts. And we certainly hope that stands you in very good stead as you take the next steps in your young life. I thought that I might just make a comment here because of a recent news event that occurred this week. And I know it's not something that the class of 2010 might relate to, because this relates to an earlier generation in our country's history. We often quote Socrates or FDR or JFK or something along that line. But many of you may have noted this week, who are of an older vintage like I, that we mourn the passing of the Wizard of Westwood, John Wooden. Now, John Wooden has Hoosier roots. John Wooden grew up a schoolboy with hoop dreams in Indiana, in Martinsville, on a state championship team, All-American at Purdue, but went on after service in the military and teaching in the state of Indiana at the high school and university level to a distinguished career at the University of California at Los Angeles, UCLA. He embodies some very important attributes, I think, that date back to his Hoosier upbringings, to tell you the truth. One of the things that he is noted for is not just being a basketball coach. You know, he is a product of Hoosier hysteria. He went on to be a very important part of creating what we know today as March Madness, as his teams won 10 national championships. But he's also known as a philosopher, as a gentleman, as an English teacher, as a poet. I would just like to read 2 or 3 quotes from the man, Mr. Wooden. Adversity is the state in which man most easily becomes acquainted with himself, being especially free of any admirers at that time. Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. Consider the rights of others before your own feelings, and the feelings of others before your own rights. Don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. If you're interested in some guidance as you begin your life's journey in your young adult life, I encourage you to do what I did. In the 21st century, we Google such things. So as you know, Google John Wooden and you'll find all kinds of information, including his pyramid of success, in which he identifies the importance of industrious friendship, loyalty, cooperation, enthusiasm, on and on. Drink from the fountains of wisdom that others have provided as they have gone on before us as you travel on your life's journey, whoever those important, wise persons may be. One thing about John Wooden, and you want to remember this, I think it's extremely important. He experienced much success, many accolades, but he never varied from his philosophy. He lived life with grace and with humility, and I think those are important things never to forget. Class of 2010, we again congratulate you. We wish you well on your journey through life. Let's give them another round of applause, please.
It's almost over. It's almost finished. In just a few more minutes, the past 4 years of your high school experience will officially be done. How do you feel about that? Some of you eagerly wait for the moment when you toss your cap in the air. You are anxious to step out into the real world and never look back. Your goals and dreams keep your thoughts pointed to the future. You will run out those doors and jump out into the game of life, making new friends and seeing brand new places. For you, the countdown to the next chapter in your life couldn't be done soon enough. Then there are others in this class whose stomach tightens and hands sweat every time they think about graduation. Underneath all of your emotions, there is a layer of apprehension. For you, today is bittersweet. The thought of never again seeing the familiar faces that you have grown up with leaves you sad and reminiscent. While you look forward to what comes next in life, you can't help thinking about what you are leaving behind. Friends, teachers, memories. You will walk out those doors slowly, breathing in the last few moments as a high schooler. Every tearful hug from your family members will be etched into your mind. Every congratulations that you are wished will make your heart race. It doesn't matter which group you fall into. All of us have something to be proud of today. Together, we have earned the rights to wear these robes. Countless hours of homework, lectures, and studying have led us to this moment. What we are taking from Angola High School is much more than the ability to find the angles of a triangle or how to write a passing term paper. We have learned that persistence is the key to overcoming obstacles. Through the ups and downs of high school, we have learned who our true friends are. We have discovered that everyone makes mistakes at some point in their life, and that through those choices, we gain experience. We realize that all that counts is what we will make of ourselves from now on, how we will use the knowledge and life experiences that we have gained. And today, sitting here now, we learn that 4 years can go by in a blink of an eye. We are the next generation that has the potential to better the world. We are the future. So walk, run, skip, and leap out those doors. Congratulations, class of 2010. We finally made it.